mobility like?
Thoughts on restrictions and the freedom you have on a railway. And actually, I can give you an example where I thought it's actually quite restricted from my perspective. Because when me personally, I think like on a railway, you can't, right? In a car, I can at least as much as possible, and the streets give you opportunity to do so, move. On a railway, it's how the railway goes. There's no way to move, there's no way around, it's the railway. So it felt for me quite restricted, but there could be also a lot of freedom. For example, when I think of like huge cities, and I think that's the future where we're heading towards, more like mega cities and stuff, you don't have traffic when you go on the subway. So in New York City, which is not a very it's a futuristic city, but it's quite an old city, you have these old subways, and they work tremendously amazing good because you're not stuck in traffic, so you have kind of more freedom until the point you kind of get stuck in the underground and you kind of have to wait until and you cannot really get in a car. I could at least, hopefully not in an accident, but in a traffic jam, I mean, technically I could at least leave officially.
And in New York, they should heavily invest in the subway because it got really old.
Okay, is that an issue?
It is an issue, yeah, obviously, because it's a very old infrastructure.
Okay.
But talking about I know there's like more freedom with the car. You can just take the.
I'm not sure if it is, but yeah.
And that is true, definitely. For a train, for obvious reason, you have to switch to another train if you want to. But let's be honest. Between the big cities, there you use the autobahn, so you just use the same street as well as for the cars.
Fair point.
And a car is pretty slow. I mean, in theory, it can drive up to 300 kilometers if you want, if you have a good car. But I mean, in general, I think you drive like 100 kilometers per hour in average.
Yeah.
With a train, you can drive with 300 kilometers. So this is much more faster.
Is that the average though?
No, this is not the average.
150, I guess, or something. So a little higher than cars, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if you use high-speed trains, and if you take a good example, like in Japan or in some parts of China, this is pretty fast. And I would say it's the average speed. I know with Deutsche Bahn we have issues, and it's not everywhere. The train can't be that fast in all of the tracks because they are not allowed to. But in an optimal setting, this would be possible. So you can go from Stuttgart to Paris in, I think, 3 hours.
You can?
Yes.
Nice, okay.